All right, you guys. Thank you so much for taking time out of your family life to spend the next 30 minutes with me and my teammates learning about this opportunity. Whoever invited you, it took courage because inviting is never like something easy, but if you're here, they see the potential in you. They see you not only adding value to the lives of others and being able to succeed, but adding value to our team. So thank you once again for being here. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jeanette Macera. I am the founder of Team Phoenix. I can't believe I'm going to say it's almost been 8 years that I've been a coach because it really doesn't seem like that long. I swear, like the enthusiasm that I had when I became a coach, I feel like I'm even more passionate about it. So I feel that this not only has been a blessing, but I feel that I'm so lucky that at the age of almost 45, that I still am excited about something, that I get to dream, that I get to share my life with amazing women. And I think COVID, I was always grateful, but going through COVID got me even to a different level of being grateful because we leaned in on each other like never before. We started doing life virtually. So I didn't feel like 2020 was so awful because I had these women with me, from doing workouts to doing happy hours to literally when I say we were doing life, we were doing life together. So um,
Way back when.
let me mute some people here. Okay, I got Sophie. So today we're going to be sharing our story, but if you've ever been in our call, we're going to do something different. We're good about sharing our stories and letting you know what we do as coaches. But there was a missing link that we got the magic formula. And this is the cool thing about this business is that we are always evolving, right? And last year in the last quarter, I learned this formula and now I'm obsessed about it and I'm teaching my clients and my coaches. And you're going to listen to this call and you're going to have the formula because no matter how amazing our stories are, there's a thought that you currently have in your mind about this business. And it's usually something fearful, and we're going to block that. We're going to get you unstuck and you're going to leave this call with completely different thoughts. Okay. So, what I need you to do in the chat, I want you to tell me right now what your fears are, what your doubts are about this business, because we're going to tackle them. Okay. So, back to my story. If you don't know me, 44. I have two kids. My background is physical therapy. That's what I dreamt of doing. That's what I thought I was going to do for the rest of my life, and I would have been happy. But after having my son, uh, kind of lost myself. That whole postpartum, I couldn't get back my body after having baby number two, and I knew I couldn't go to the gym. I love the gym, but I was like, I need help because I can't keep going like this. And I reached out to a friend who was doing these awesome home workouts, and I started this journey. And I started this journey at a low point as a desperation, like this needs to work, and it did. And that one decision to start working out at home has completely changed my life. And here I am. I, from the get go, I fell in love with the community, right? I love the workouts. I was like bleeding Beachbody blue. And at the end of my transformation, at my first program was 3 months, I was like, I feel so good. I need to share this with everybody around me because all my friends were in the same situation. We had already two kids. We were struggling. We were working all the time and we had all lost ourselves. And here I felt the best, in the best shape of my life. And I told my coach, like, I'm going to be coach. I need to do this. And from day one, I did take it seriously because Luca, I had to make that decision of putting him in daycare. And I knew that if I can do this part time and work on the weekends as a PT, he wouldn't have to go to daycare. And you guys, that was in 2013. By 2016, I became a full time coach. And here we are, 2021. Here, a different person, still evolving and completely in love with our community and waking up with purpose and fulfillment. So I could have been really happy without this business, right? I had a happy life. Here's the thing. I would have never found this person. I would have never found my gifts and my talents, my confidence, if it weren't for this business. Why? This is a business unlike any other that makes you work on you. The foundation of this business is you, your personal development, your health and wellness journey. And that's really, really so cool because when you are feeling your best, and if you're doing our workouts, you know how good we feel after. If you're reading the books, I mean, we're always like, oh my God, we're going to conquer the world. And that really translates to all aspects of your life. So, yes, we're talking about a business, but we're also talking about a way to continue to evolve as a human and continue this life transformation. And the biggest surprise were my kids, right? And how they've evolved with me, how I parent, how they're seeing mom and dad live a really healthy lifestyle. They listen to the podcast. They already know the voice of my business mentor. And it's funny, the model that I'm going to show you, I used it last week with my daughter, and it's the changes are already coming just because I learned this one thing and now I'm teaching those around me. So I think that I've talked enough. So I'm going to look at the chat. Did anybody write their objections? I don't see any. Do you guys want to write it? Any objections? I know Elvie. Okay, so Elvie had talked to me about social media, but keep writing them, you guys, because I'm gonna tackle them. So what we've always been taught is that actions will give you results, right? And that's all we do. Like if you take enough action, you're gonna get results. So what happens that people don't take action? Well, there's this whole process that we're missing. And we're going to tackle your fears and your feelings and your thoughts with this model. So the way the model works is everything in your life is a circumstance, right? There's nothing negative or positive about this circumstance, right? Like the circumstance right now is becoming a coach, right? There's neutral. There's nothing positive or negative. Now you get to create that thought. So the next thing is the thought. You are the creator of your thoughts. This thought that you're thinking, it creates feelings. You act on the feelings or don't take action on the feelings that you have. And based on your action or inaction, you're going to get results. Did you guys see that? So this is the model. And this model you use for everything in your life. And what I do and what I teach now is like, I wake up, I think about what am I thinking? And if it's something negative, I'm like, why? What thought did I create to give me this negative feeling? So right now, what you guys, the circumstances, you have this opportunity of becoming a coach. All right. So coach. So I was talking to Elvie and she's like, social media. Social media scares me. I don't know what to post.
Babe, will you get my headphones?
Yeah, they're in your bed.
Okay, so social media scares me. So Elvie, what feeling does that give you? When you say and think social media scares me, what are you feeling? You can unmute yourself. I have an idea. What do you feel? Do you feel anxious? Do you feel overwhelmed?
Yeah, I think a little bit of both. Just to make sure. It's like, oh God.
Yes.
Really?
And I can relate, right? Because I started this business. My fear. I was not in social media. So anxiety and overwhelming. So if we don't tackle this, Elvie's not going to become a coach because this is so scary. She's not thinking about the possibilities that I'm going to share, the life that I'm living. She's like, oh my God, I'm anxious because what am I going to do with social media? So she's created all these thoughts about this business based on this one thing. Social media scares me, right? So now, what do you want to feel, Elvie? What is the feeling that you would love to have about becoming a coach? A positive, good feeling.
You mean just about social media overall, or just becoming a coach?
becoming a coach in your ideal situation, what do you want to feel when you think coaching? What is it that you want to feel instead of
Helping others. Helping others for sure.
Okay, so I can say like serving, like maybe the feeling of service, like you want to help people.
Yes.
Okay, so
Maybe reach their capacity. I mean, because a lot of their goals of just losing weight.
so actually that's a thought. Instead of thinking of social media, you can think, I get to help people with this business if I decide to say yes. I get to help people. How does that get you? What feeling does that create? Are you excited when you think that I get to help people?
Makes me feel
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Right? And you created that thought, right? The same way you create social media, you can create this thought and be like, man, I get to help people with this business. And that'll get you excited. But that doesn't tackle your I'm afraid of social media. Okay, how about thinking about social media as I am teachable? I'm teachable. Do you feel that, is that a true statement? I'm teachable?
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
And
Yeah.
here's the thing is that we're going to teach you everything, right? We're going to teach you social media. Like if you're in my coaching group, I totally developed a whole social media schedule that I've already given my coaches for the month of February, right? So you don't have to worry about it. I'm teachable. You can think I'm teachable. I can learn social media. Can you believe that today? Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? So what do you
Right.
feel now? Instead of saying social media scares me, you can think I'm teachable. I can learn social media. How does that make you feel?
Good. Like there's the possibility.
Yes, right? There's a possibility, right? And it's just changing your thought about social media. And it's totally normal. I think all our thoughts go totally to the what if negative, like, oh my God, but we never think about the possibilities. So this is a new thought process that will get you to say yes. Hey, it's only social media that's preventing me for doing this. I'm teachable. They're going to teach me. I got this. Right? And those are the kind of feelings that we want you to create after leaving this car, that yeah, of course I can do this. Right?
Yeah, right.
So Nori also has the fear of social media and being overweight. How can I coach other women? That's such a good, this is a really good. If I'm not in my ideal weight, how can I help others? Okay. Right? So I don't have the right weight, right? Weight. She's created a whole story. She feels that she can't help because she's not at her ideal weight, right? I'm overweight. Okay. So Nori, what is it that you want to feel about this business? That I always kind of like to start with the feeling. What is it that you want to feel?
I am not exactly sure how to answer that. Feel like in what sense though?
You sign off and you're like, I became a coach. What would be how you would feel about becoming a coach? Instead of being scared, what would be your ideal
I would
feeling?
be excited if it would be right. If it would be in the terms without thinking that I'm not in the ideal weight.
Right? So you're the thinker of that thought. So we're just going to create a new thought based on, I want to feel excitement every day when I show up as a coach. Here's what I can think. I have the total solution to weight loss. And now I get to share my journey and motivate other women to join me.
Okay.
Because we do have the total solution.
Correct.
Right? We love our
have
products.
All the tools. Right.
Yeah. So that could be, instead of saying, I'm not in my ideal weight, how cool that I get to inspire other women that look like me. And now they get to follow my journey and see what I'm doing.
Okay, correct.
So you see how, we can change something so negative into this beautiful thing, that I get to share this with other people that struggle the way I used to. So does that get you that feeling of excitement?
Yes.
Yeah. And we can create so many more thoughts too. Like, now that I'm a coach, now I got to stick to this because now people are looking for me to motivate them, right? So even this business will get you accountable. It's
I
like,
was
oh
gonna
my
say
God.
even that's a little scary too.
Okay, but listen, don't be afraid of scary because now you have something. What's that thing? You got skin in the game, right? Because this journey, and I can come up with so many good thoughts. Like this journey is no longer about me; it's about me and the women that I'm going to inspire every day.
Okay.
Damn, that gets me excited. I'm gonna use.
I'm jotting this down.
Yeah. And you guys, the same way with your weight loss journey. And if you're in my group, I'm constantly now doing this, right? We create out all these thoughts, and it's our thoughts. I forgot to explain this big thing. It's our thoughts that give us our results. It's not our action because people are not taking action because of these stories that that you guys are creating and these feelings. And we're not our best when we feel anxious and when we feel overwhelmed. And the only reason we feel anxious and overwhelmed is because of our thoughts and these stories that we have created. Okay. Oh, so Isabel put, yeah, you're not there yet, but you're making a change and getting results. People see that. Yeah. You guys, being not in your ideal weight is really like a plus because you get to share a transformation every 2 to 3 weeks. You're like, oh my God, look at me, look at me. And we really do have coaches that have started at 400 pounds. And we have plus size coaches that are rock stars, because they understand people, they understand the struggle. So it really it can be taken as an advantage. So Alex said a lot of people say time, right? I've worked with this with my life coach, and it's like we have enough time, right? Everybody knows people that are doing 10 times what they do, and it's just time management. And we're going to teach you time management, and we're going to teach you how to fit this business in pockets of time and being organized. So when someone says I don't have time, I'm like, oh, do you work off of calendar? Do you haven't, they're like, no, I don't have a calendar. Okay, so it's not time, it's just how you're working your time. Any other thought that I can help you with? And I hope that you guys found this useful, because once again, this is for everything in your life. Whether it's good, bad, we're creating that thought. All right, guys. So I wanted to share that. This is the magic sauce now that I teach everybody because it's really changed the way I think. And really I feel like no matter how many ways we always tackle those objections, but giving you a new thought and you creating different feelings, I think that's the game changer. So enough about me. I'm going to hand it off to Alex. So let me share the screen, Alex. Sorry. And if you have any other objections, put them in there and I can do this again at the end. All right. It's all you, Alex.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Alex Ortiz. I am 47 years old and I have two beautiful girls, and I'm married to a wonderful man. It's going to be 18 years married, and he's from Chile. And I come from the corporate world. I was in the airline industry for over 20 years, mostly in marketing. And then when I started looking into coming in, starting my journey, it actually took my childhood friend here, Jeanette, about 4 years of inviting me for me to say yes. Okay. And it was nothing to do with her or Beachbody. It had to do everything with me and my limiting belief that I could actually, do this, that I could actually not fail again in my journey, because I was the queen of all the quick fixes and trying to do it the fastest way possible. I read all the books and did all the pills and tried all the things. And then so for me, it was about not failing again. Not, I was a point in time that I had already given up with my own self, my own health. I was like, you know what, I'm over 40. I'm just gonna throw in that towel because my ship has sailed, kind of thing. And then it took a doctor to tell me that if I didn't change my habits, I was going to start having to take a pill for my cholesterol. And that scared me because I knew that that was the beginning of many other pills to come if I didn't make a change. So I said yes to Jeanette. I had no more excuses because at that time, in the airline industry, in the airline where I worked, they had a merger, and of course, my airline is a South American airline, so the headquarters was in South America. And so my whole department got moved to South America, and the ones that didn't move with the department were seen without a job. So I came home to be a stay-at-home mom, which I never thought I was going to be. And I was already at that point, the doctor told me change your habits. I didn't have the excuse that I didn't have the time because I had the time. So I told Jeanette, okay, I'm going to go all in. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be consistent, and I'm going to follow the program and the nutrition plan as it was designed. And so I did. And I started seeing the changes, and I started noticing everything that was changing around me too. I was bringing this into my home. My kids were seeing how I was changing, how my energy, how my mood, how being a mom was also evolving. And I was actually seeing that this was actually working, that I had found the total solution, that it wasn't a diet, that I was able to enjoy an actual lifestyle, and I could see myself looking and finding the joy again. And I was the person that hated to exercise. Yep, I hated it. And for me, saying, okay, no, let's go to do this class or go to the gym, I was like, I'm out. It's not for me, unless it was dancing, because I love to dance. And so that is one of the limiting things also that got me to not say yes to Jeanette until I was like, okay, I have to do it. And I started finding the joy in these 30-minute workouts that when I was in and out and didn't even feel like it was, 30 minutes. So once I started seeing that, I started thinking, why not help others? Why not, as I am seeing these results and seeing how it's affecting me inside and out, why not pay it forward and serve others with this? And so that is when I decided to go in all in with the coaching and started getting trained and changing my perspective on what a coach was, because to me a coach was like, had to be like superwoman type of thing, had to be the expert in all the things. And I wasn't, when I started my journey, I wasn't even thinking of this was going to be my new career path or anything like that. And all of a sudden I saw that, why not me? Why couldn't it be? I started learning what a coach did, what actually you were actually the cheerleader of others, and the ones that gave the tools that were helping you and the experiences that were helping you to create that healthy lifestyle, that sustainable healthy lifestyle for your real life. And so you brought in your energy and your light, and you shined that light onto others. And that is what essentially a coach does. A coach is there when you need them, is there to cheer you on, is there to also give you that tough love when you need it to, tell you to wake up at, early so you can do those 30 minutes, listen to that podcast so you can mentally brighten that day, and and then just help others to experience the same that you have experienced. And, you know, be real and transparent in what you're going through, because it's not going to be all rainbows and unicorns all the time. You're not going to wake up motivated every day, and it's not going to be perfect. But it's not about perfect, it's about progress, and that is what you show. You help others also know that it's not about being perfect or the number on the scale, but it's about the progress and the way that you feel when you are feeling healthier, when you're fueling your body, and when you're moving, and when you get to do all these things for yourself. And bringing all that to your home is just the icing on that cake. When my daughter the other day, uh, before going to school, I was stretching, and she's like, "Before I get on virtual school, can I stretch with you so I can clear my head?" Okay, she's 8 years old. She started seeing me in my journey about 4 years ago, so she was 4, and she has been seeing me throughout this journey, and all she will remember is this healthy version of me. And so that is what I love most about, you know, being able to bring this into my family, and also being able to serve others and help them succeed, and give them that light at the end of the tunnel that, just like I thought was never going to shine again, is shining. And that's the whole thing about what you bring to the table and to your challengers as a coach. So now I'm going to pass it on to Jackie, my business partner, who is going to tackle some of the, you know, objections or doubts that we all had at some point about coaching.
Hi guys. All right, so I'm Jackie. I'm gonna try to make this brief. I have two beautiful kids. I've been married for about 15 years. I've been a teacher for about that long as well. And my story with Beachbody is pretty short. I was the typical person that saw other people working out and rolled my eyes. Oh my God. And I saw a social media post of somebody working out. I was like, oh my God, how embarrassing. I would die. That was me. And but it took my husband in the meantime had always worked out. He was super into Spartan races. You know, he always loved, you know, physical activity. He was an athlete when he was in high school. So my son had been seeing his father doing all these things, but had never seen me doing anything physical. And so it took him one day, my husband says to me, oh, then we were at the finish line. My husband was crossing a Spartan race, a finish line at a Spartan race. And when he crosses, he comes over to us and tells us, oh, mommy's gonna do the next one with us, because my son was doing the kids Spartan race with his dad too. And I would just sit on the sidelines watching, and like, oh my God, I would never do that, right? And it took my son saying and answering to my husband, instead of letting me answer, oh yeah, I'll do it. I almost rolled my eyes, and before I was able to do that, my son answered for me. And he said to him, no, mommy can't do these races, papi. That was tough to hear. He was 6 years old. So what he had been seeing from me for 6 years was mommy is not capable. And that's what hit me. That hit me hard. So at that point, my husband had already done P90X before, like he had Beachbody in the past. So I went, you know, in contrast to Alex and Jeanette that were invited by someone, I was never invited by anybody. So I went online. I was like, I need to do it from home. I had just given birth to my daughter. I went in and I signed up, and I had no idea what I was doing, but I just knew that I needed to pick a program and just do it. And I was not going to let anybody know, because how embarrassing, right? And so I never posted a workout on social media. I never even posted a picture of weights or sneakers. Nobody was going to know what I was doing. And so that was for like maybe 2 years that I did this by myself. And I'll be honest with you, I found no joy in it, because I didn't like working out. I just knew I had to, because at that point I had promised my son that I was going to do a Spartan race. And my husband, being the Spartan fanatic that he was, he already knew what date was the next one. So I had to commit. So I did, I committed, and I stuck to the program. And at the end of the day, the transformation was huge. My first program was one called 80-Day Obsession. It was a commitment of 80 days with a really strict nutrition program. And I was just laser focused on that. I'll never forget, the race was February 24th. Our anniversary was February 25th. So it was kind of like all, it had to happen. And it did. And with the three of us did the race. He did the kids one, my husband and I did it together, and it was epic. And I fell in love with that feeling of accomplishment, that of going from like, I can't do this, I would never do that, to then coming full circle and being like, holy moly, I just did that, So I fell in love with that feeling. And around that same time was when I came across Jeanette's profile. We had a few people that we knew in common. So I guess that's how we found each other. I'm not really sure, but I found her profile, and I don't know, like her positivity and just her joy for this business, her just everything that she brought through the phone screen. Like I was able almost to like feel her excitement every time that she would talk about her business, or every time she would talk about a challenge or whatever it was. And I gravitated to her, and we kind of became friends on social media for like a few months, I would say. And then one day I was like, you know what? Like, I'm not going to do this as a coach or anything, but she clearly has a business going on. So I'm just going to tell her, hey, like, can you be my coach? Just you be my coach. Like, I want you, to coach me. I already watched you. And so she was like, yeah. So I joined her team. And of course, as soon as she saw that I was already working out, I had already seen a transformation, I already pretty much agreed with everything she was saying, she was like, hello, you're joining, right? But I was like, no. And so that's what this slide is about. All those objections that we first have. And Jeanette already covered social media. And the one little nugget that I had about social media was, because it's how it was for me. Social media for me was just exposing everything about me. Just very, I had to be so vulnerable, which was something that I had never been, right? So that created anxiety, that created fear, that created that thought of like, what are people gonna think? And it wasn't until I changed the thought to, people need to see what this does for me, because people need this. People need to see this. People need this. This is the total solution. We have not just the workouts, but we have the nutrition, we have the mindset, we have the support, we have the community. People need this. This is what people are lacking. And once I understood that, and I saw social media of a way of, in a way of sharing my journey so that other people would get inspired by it, that's when kind of like that fear of social media completely changed. Because now my thought is different. My thought is like, oh my God, what are people gonna say? No, my thought is like, what is that one person gonna say? That one person that needed to hear me today, needed to see me working out, because for whatever reason, I was the only person working out that day, and they saw me and they got inspired by me. So once I created that thought in my mind, that's when I was like, this is a no-brainer. This is a complete no-brainer. So that's how that thought kind of changed. And then also being open to, you know what, like she said, I'm coachable. I can learn social media. That doesn't mean that from the get-go I have to go and like put a workout and put myself in workout clothes. And that's not necessarily what it has to be. You start sharing little by little. Like I remember putting pictures of my watch at first, because I was like, there's no way I'm doing a sweaty selfie. No way, right? And that's how it started. And the little by little, one day I was like, I got brave and I was like, okay, I'm a little sweaty, let's do it. And then it just, the more you do it, and the more you see the people around you that are just having such an amazing result from being part of this community, you really don't care what other people think. Honestly, like you stop caring, because you know that what you have is real and what you have is what people need. The other objection that I had was, I don't know how to sell. I had never sold anything in my life. I had been a teacher for 15 years. I didn't need to sell. But again, the thought changed when I realized that this is not selling, this is just sharing what I do. And when you share what you do, it kind of sells on its own. You know, that's the reality of it. When you stick to your nutrition, you start seeing your results. When people see that you're consistent with your workouts, that you're seeing the results from all of that, that, you know, you're helping other people do that, it just sells on its own. So, you know, the one little piece of advice that I could give you is don't see it as something that you're selling. Yes, it's a business, and you're, you know, the whole point of a business is to make money, right? But at the same time, this is one of those businesses that you're not actually, you know, door to door or offering people, you know, a specific product. You're doing it as you're sharing it, sharing your journey itself, right? So you're doing it yourself, and that's how people see it. So that was the other objection I had, and I was able to change my thought thinking about it like that. I don't have many followers. I still don't have many followers, but when I started, I think I had like maybe 150. I don't know. Jeanette wrote that number one time. She was like, you're going to see this number change. So it was like 100 and something, maybe 200 tops. I only have like 400 and something now. But that's something that's going to grow organically as you start, you know, just networking with people and getting to know other people, and just, you know, we'll teach you that. Those are things. And when we say that's, can you learn social media? Those are the things that we're going to teach you and that you're going to learn with us, is how to actually, you know, grow your following and do it in a way that is, you know, value, right? That's valuable, you know, that actually has a meaning, that those numbers are actually real, and that you're actually reaching those people. Because anybody can have 12,000 followers, right? If you pay people to get you followers, you can do that. But the point of this is actually having meaningful connections with people so you can impact lives. So we will teach you that. And again, it's not going to happen from, you know, 2 days of working this business. It takes time. And then the last objection is like, oh my gosh, what do I do? How do I start? And how we start is exactly by doing what we said, just sharing your journey. And usually the way that it happens is sharing your journey with those that are closest to you. It's going to be your biggest supporters, your closest friends and family. And how are you going to do it if you haven't seen your own transformation? Simple. You just say, I'm in this. I need accountability. I want you to do this with me. You know, I'm excited. I don't know what's going to happen, but I know that the way that I'm feeling is something that I want to feel for a really long time, and I want to bring you with me. And that's how you do it. And your number one supporters are going to support you. So that's basically where you start. From there on, it just, we teach you. It comes, you know, as you go. You don't need to have all the answers from the very beginning. I sure didn't. I'm sure Jeanette and Alex didn't either. That just comes as you go. It's just a matter of being coachable, being open, and again, tackling those thoughts. As soon as those creepy thoughts come in, just being able to shift them and changing to those that are positive so that they can create the action and the results that you want. And that's it for me, Jeanette.
Thank you. And talking, I know social media is a big thing for a lot of people. It's an advantage that you don't have a lot of followers because you have more engagement. And now you get to build a following with intention. So there is this idea that, man, thank God that you don't have all these followers that are just random people. Now you're going to do social media in a way that we're going to find your people. So.
And from a business point, you know, think about how much money people have to invest to actually have a storefront, right? To have an actual physical, you know, office or store or whatever it is, to have a storefront. For us, if you think of social media as your storefront, and how you basically have a business for free right there, you are able to reach thousands of people at the touch of a phone. You know, that's another thought that's huge when you think about it that way.
Yeah, it's kind of like we're living in the best generation when it comes to being able to build a business. So why start now? We are always going to have life happen and it's never going to be the perfect time. Even though we're like, oh no, but there's no perfect time. It is January. People are leaving the gym now because, you know, there's no accountability. Everybody was in the gym the first 2 weeks, even with COVID. But now people are like, this is not working. So it is the start of the new year. We constantly are getting new programs. So it is the start of 9-week control freak. If you're not doing it right now, you know, you got to do it. It's amazing. And we are now going to be blowing up for the next few months this program. You are ready. You have everything inside of you to make this a successful business. You just have to have the thought of, I got this, and we are going to mentor you and we're going to show you the way. So what is the best option? If you are a customer, we just have to convert you into a coach and get your products through your coaching account. The $38 fee, you pay it, it'll be reimbursed if you bought a challenge pack. If you have never done our programs, you don't have Beachbody on demand, talk to your coach and we're going to find the right package for you. I would highly, once again, recommend 9-week control freak because it's amazing, and we're going to set you up with the right program and starting you with a fitness program that meets your needs. So what are your next steps? Talk to your coach who invited you, and we're going to sign you up. Our training starts next Saturday. And the cool thing is, you guys, we have a website. For 1 month, we're going to walk you baby steps into this business. We choose topics every week, but we just created this website that everything you need to know, you go in there and you can go at your own pace. And the teaching never stops, right? We are constantly learning and evolving together. But for the first month, it's just, we're going to really put you in this little new coach bubble and make sure that you have access to all the top leaders. So we're going to make sure that you do find success. Okay. Now, you guys, I'm going to wrap it up because I know we're going up a little bit over. I don't know if it was just me, but I used to have big dreams, and then life happened, right? I got comfortable in my career. I became a mom, and I was just in the hamster wheel with no goals, just being happy, but not reaching or wanting more. And this business, the gift of this business is not only did I find this person that was in here and my gifts and my talents, but it has allowed me to create this very clear vision of the type of life I want to live, the type of experiences I want to have with my family. And I get to share these visions with my team, and we get to dream together. And when you join our team, your visions become part of our vision, and your visions are equally as important to me as mine are, because we're doing this together. We succeed together. Some of you have been on this call before, and all of you, there's a reason why you're here. There's something tugging you to this opportunity. I need you to believe that it is possible for you, because if it's possible for us, why not you? Why not you? There's nothing special about us other than we said yes, and we continue to say yes to getting uncomfortable, to growing, to failing, right? This is not a quick fix. This is not something that is like, oh my God, this is all you have to do. No, we get uncomfortable every day, but that's where you find what you're made of. That's where you find your potential. When you're doing things that scare you, when you're doing things like, oh my God, and those hard things that you feel like social media, one day they'll become easy. And then you'll be like, okay, what's next? So in 7 years, I haven't been comfortable. And now the moment I feel like, oh, I'm a little too comfortable, I'm like, that's a red flag. I know what it's like to be comfortable. I did that in my physical therapy career, I coasted. And I never want to be that person, because that's not me at my best. This is me at my best, growing and getting uncomfortable every day. So let's say yes today. Let's get you going, and we're ready to take this ride with you. And like I say, don't do it just for a month and let me see, commit for a year, right? If you guys went to college, you know that there's not much that you learned in college the first 3 weeks, right? I graduated PT school and I was like, I don't know anything. So give me a year, give us a year of our leadership, of our mentorship, and you're going to see what's possible with you. So if you guys have any questions, I'll open it up. Let me open it up if you guys have any questions. Any questions that I can answer? I know somebody asked what Jackie's Facebook and Instagram, and I wrote it down. No questions? Are you guys ready? No questions? Good.
Well, I have to do my stretching for the control freak.
That's right.
So I still have to do that tonight.
Oh my God, I'm so mad at that.
Oh, you have to do it too. I'm so sore.
It was a great workout today. It was amazing. I have to say, I really like it.
Today was crazy, man. I thought I was gonna die that step.
That last
So-
You
one,
gave me,
I was like, what?
but Jackie, you gave me an idea of the phone because I use my Apple Watch, so I
Yes.
like to be able to. I'm like, that's a great idea.
And
Yeah.
if you have your bod app on your phone, you can see your heart, your heart rate. So it'll give you like the little columns with different colors,
Yeah.
so you can put
Yes.
that. That's how I
Jackie-
started.
Yeah, because mine, like for instance, right now I've done, my goal is always 610 calories a day, and I'm up to 790. So
Awesome. So
good.
you
You're
can,
fine.
so that would be a perfect post. I surpassed my goal
Yeah.
today.
yeah,
And
that's
Jackie
awesome.
forgot to say, she's like, I'm gonna coach, but I'm not gonna do it on social media. I was like,
Oh,
okay.
that's true.
I was like,
And then
okay.
and then that's when the Snapchat filters used to come. All right, and she would put the
like,
lady
okay,
with
Jackie,
no
go.
teeth.
So in 3 weeks, she was on social media, and little by little, like say, she wouldn't put her face, she would do this, and you grow into it. You don't have to like go crazy. You just
Right.
one little post at a time, and eventually you'll get on camera and start doing stories, and it'll happen. Like none of us here were good on social media, especially.
And the moment you start reaching
You're
out
right.
to the people that you can do it with them.
Yeah.
Zoom and a picture of Zoom, the two of you working together. It works out. It's
Yeah,
not
and you guys
as
know people.
scary. It's not as scary as it
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
seems.
So any more questions? Go stretch, you guys. Go stretch. I'm trying to convince myself to stretch. I gotta go stretch. All right, guys. Thank you guys for coming. Talk to your coach, and let's get you going. So I'll see you in the coach training next week.
Thank you. Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Bye.
Good night.